Backyard and indie punk. In the late 90s, CM Punk was just a skinny kid with bleach blonde hair and basketball shorts, wrestling in backyards and tiny gyms around Chicago. Even back then, one thing set him apart. He was straight edge. In the indies, especially IWA Mid-South, he started building his name. His rivalry with Chris Hero became legendary. Long, technical, brutal matches that fans still talk about today. He also had high-profile feuds with Colt Cabana, AJ Styles, and Eddie Guerrero. He didn't have pyro, he didn't have big entrances, but he had something even more valuable: authenticity. And slowly, word started spreading that CM Punk was the real deal. Ring of Honor / TNA Punk. Then came Ring of Honor, where Punk transformed from just another indie guy into a cult figure. The look? Longer blonde hair slicked back, basketball shorts, taped fists. The entrance? Miseria Cantare by AFI. And the promos? Punk didn't just talk, he preached. His feud with Raven was perfect. Two clashing lifestyles, Raven, the broken alcoholic anti-hero, and Punk, the holier-than-thou straight-edge warrior. Their dog collar matches became classics. Then came the Samoa Joe trilogy, hour-long wars that defined smaller-scale wrestling. Punk wasn't just cutting promos anymore. He was proving, bell to bell, that he could hang with the best in the world. And when he finally won the Ring of Honor World Championship, he made it unforgettable with the original Summer of Punk. Punk signed with the WWE while still Ring of Honor champion, and then walked into Ring of Honor saying he was going to take the belt with him to WWE. Sound familiar? In between all of this, from 2002 to 2004, Punk appeared occasionally in TNA wrestling while still with Ring of Honor. He joined Raven's faction, The Gathering, alongside Julio De Niro. The Ring of Honor and TNA era made CM Punk a star before WWE ever got their hands on him. He was proving that his mix of sharp promos and brutal storytelling could carry entire companies. WWE Debut / ECW Punk. When Punk debuted on WWE's ECW brand, the presentation was simple, but effective. His entrance music was now This Fire Burns by Killswitch Engage. He had long black hair, tattoos now covering his arms. His first feuds were against Mike Knox and Hardcore Holly, showing he could handle both technical wrestling and brawls. But the breakthrough came against John Morrison. The two feuded over the ECW Championship, with Punk eventually winning it in 2007. From there, Punk battled Chavo Guerrero and even teamed up with Kane for a while. He wasn't the face of ECW, but he was the workhorse. The guy fans believed could break out if given the chance. This wasn't the version of Punk that changed wrestling, but it was the one that introduced him to millions of WWE fans, planting the seeds of what was coming next. World Heavyweight Champion Punk. Then came Money in the Bank. Punk won the briefcase at WrestleMania 24 and then again at WrestleMania 25, 2 years in a row. His first cash-in came against Edge in 2008 when Punk shocked the world and became World Heavyweight Champion. Then came his cash-in on Jeff Hardy. He cashed in at Extreme Rules 2009 to win his second World Heavyweight title. This feud with Jeff Hardy is where CM Punk elevated. The real-life tension between Hardy's struggles and Punk's straight-edge arrogance made their rivalry one of the best of the 2000s. Punk then went on to feud with The Undertaker in a series of great matches and eventually dropped the title to him. In between the two World Heavyweight Championship reigns, Punk also picked up Tag Team Gold with Kofi Kingston and the Intercontinental Championship. This was the version of Punk that quickly climbed the WWE ranks and had officially arrived to the main event scene. Straight Edge Society Punk. But Punk wasn't done evolving. He grew a long, scruffy beard with long black hair. He started a small faction with Serena Deeb and Luke Gallows by his side, where he initiated Serena by shaving her head in the middle of the ring, and then, eventually, shaved his own head. This version wasn't just straight edge, it was cult leader. Punk demanded loyalty. He was shaving his followers' heads as a symbol of purity. His promos turned sermons into threats. The feud with Rey Mysterio became the highlight. Their WrestleMania and follow-up matches cemented Punk as one of WWE's best villains. The Straight Edge Society didn't last long, but it proved Punk could be more than just a guy holding championships. He could be the centerpiece of a story and faction. New Nexus Punk. When Wade Barrett's Nexus faction imploded, WWE needed someone to lead the leftovers. Enter CM Punk. He wasn't a fiery preacher anymore. He was cold and calculated. Punk targeted John Cena, continuing Nexus's never-ending conflict with him. He also feuded with Randy Orton, leading to a WrestleMania match that, while strong, still felt like Punk was circling the mid-card. The new Nexus era wasn't his peak. Far from it. The group didn't have the same energy it once had, but it mattered for one reason. It kept Punk simmering. Because right after this version came the one that blew the roof off professional wrestling. Pipebomb, voice of the voiceless Punk. June 27, 2011, Las Vegas. CM Punk sat cross-legged on the entrance ramp and changed wrestling forever. He called out Vince McMahon. He called out John Cena. He even called out The Rock. The Pipebomb promo wasn't just a storyline. It was a cultural reset. Punk blurred the line between real and scripted in a way fans hadn't seen in years. This led straight to Money in the Bank 2011 in Chicago. John Cena versus CM Punk for the WWE Championship. Punk's contract expiring that night. And when he hit the GTS and pinned Cena, the building shook. Punk blew a kiss to Vince and walked out with the belt. Cena eventually won back the WWE title after CM Punk left, only for Punk to return with his title and compete with Cena to determine the real WWE champion. Punk defeated Cena, but then lost the title to Alberto Del Rio moments later when he cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase. This version shot CM Punk to unimaginable heights, but he still hadn't reached his peak yet. Best in the world Punk. After the Pipebomb came the legendary reign. At Survivor Series 2011, Punk defeated Del Rio to win back the WWE Championship. He cut his hair short, started wearing Best in the World shirts, and walked to the ring with Cult of Personality blaring through arenas. For over 434 days, CM Punk held the WWE Championship. He defended against John Cena in classics. He clashed with Daniel Bryan in technical masterclasses. He went to war with Chris Jericho. And then he turned heel. Aligned with Paul Heyman, Punk grew arrogant. He didn't just call himself the best, he proved it every night until he finally ran into The Rock in early 2013. He lost the title there, but by then, the reign had already cemented his place in history. And just months later, he faced The Undertaker at WrestleMania 29 in one of the Dead Man's last great matches. This wasn't just another run. This was CM Punk at his absolute peak, AEW Punk. In 2014, Punk left WWE. Each passing year, fans chanted his name at random WWE shows, hoping, begging for a return. And then in 2021, it happened, but not in WWE. AEW Rampage, Chicago. Cult of Personality hit, and the crowd exploded. Punk was finally back. The look was older, graying beard, but the swagger hadn't changed, and his feuds reminded everyone what they had missed. Against Eddie Kingston, Punk showed he could still cut a raw personal promo battle. Against Hangman Page, he proved he could still wrestle at a main event level. And against MJF, he created one of the best rivalries in AEW history. Their dog collar match was bloody, emotional, and unforgettable. He even became AEW World Champion. Twice. But injuries and behind-the-scenes drama overshadowed it. After All Out 2022, Punk ripped into the Elite in a press conference, sparking a real backstage fight that fans dubbed the Brawl Out. This fight was the beginning of the end for CM Punk in AEW. He was suspended and then returned and got into another altercation and was eventually released. A triumphant comeback. That collapsed just as quickly. WWE returned Punk. 10 years after walking away, CM Punk did the unthinkable. At Survivor Series 2023, the Chicago crowd lost its mind when Cult of Personality hit once again. The prodigal son was back where it all began. This version of Punk is older, wiser, but still sharp on the mic. Defiant, unapologetic, always ready to speak his truth. His trilogy with Drew McIntyre reignited the fire within him in a feud that lasted nearly 10 months. He then clashed with Seth Rollins, which culminated in a triple threat match with Roman Reigns in the main event of Night 1 at WrestleMania 41, where Paul Heyman walked out with CM Punk, but then turned on him during the match and aligned with Seth Rollins, costing Punk and Reigns the win. And in 2025, in the main event of Night 1 at SummerSlam, CM Punk defeated Gunther to win the World Heavyweight Championship, only to lose it to Seth Rollins moments later after he cashed in the Money in the Bank contract. He may not be the same Punk from the early 2010s, but the fact he's still here, still headlining WrestleManias and SummerSlams, and still creating unforgettable moments says everything. That's every version of CM Punk. Please like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed.